It's always scary when Hunter has to play Danny Palm's role. Never goes as well. We'll see how this works. Should
Hello,
be
people.
hello people. It's saying we're live, but not on Instagram yet. Come
Yeah,
on.
StreamYard said we're live.
There we go. There we go. Now I can go live on IG. Get all them IG folks up in here. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are live. This is the show before the show.
The show before the show? We should call it the show prior to the show.
That's the worst name I've ever heard. Yeah, we should not call it that.
You've never heard your voice.
Ho, ho, ho. Oh, ho, ho. He's got jokes. He's got jokes, ladies and gentlemen. We got texts coming in from Zach Drizmicky and Justin Patton at the same time. That's
Boom.
cool. You know what they have in common, Ryan Middleton?
They're about to pummel you at weigh-ins.
I mean, that is the thing to do, I guess. So probably yes, probably that. I was going to say,
Ding, ding, ding.
I was going to say they both have fights coming up, but also that fights with me.
Dude, we call him Dr. Z. Dr. Z's on fire today.
The phone's been blowing up with email notifications for old young Mr. Driz Mickey selling them tickets, son. He is all over it. That's for sure. You know what? Even though it's the show before the show, you guys here's his fight. He's fighting Gabe Cruz from ATT Happy Valley, a debut. And Zach is 2-0 himself out of Stout PGH. So a very well-known gym in the area versus an up-and-coming gym for sure that's been impressing the ever-loving heck out of us. So that's going to be a good one.
Loving heck.
That's going to be a good one.
You can't say things like that. Just stick with slaps.
That fight does slap. I gotta say, we got to see Gabe train a little bit, and he might be built different, Ryan, based on what we've seen. Might be. Gazda94 tells us to enjoy our weekend. You too, brother. It's going to be a good one. Let's go. We are stoked. This is, like we said, the show before the show. This is where we just kind of talk smack. I am home right now.
Really? We talk smack? I don't know that that's what the show before the show is.
That is, for me, that's exactly what it is, dude. I'm just here to talk smack, but right now I'm here to talk about the fact.
Danny, did you think that 247 live sorry, I was so confused there. I heard Hunter's stupid voice and
you played yourself.
Yeah. So Danny, did you think that the podcast or what was I talking about?
Show before the show is designed to talk smack, is what you were trying to say.
Yeah. Is that all the purpose of the show before the show?
Oh man,
kinda. He wants.
Yeah, dude. It is. I literally know what you're gonna say better than what you're gonna say. Like I literally filled in the gap for you. And it was your sentence. That's ridiculous. Literally, mate. That's ridiculous. Yeah. I had something to say. Oh, if anybody caught me sniffing my hair a second ago, this is why. This is what the show before the show is for. I'm sitting here and I'm just like wafting peach. It smells like straight up peaches. So as you can see, I'm at home today and I ran out of shampoo. So I used my wife's shampoo. And let me tell you, that is like pure peaches, dude. It smells really good. I'm a big fan of that. Might just keep using women's shampoo. I mean, I got women's hair anyway. Should probably use women's shampoo, right? I think that's how it works.
Maybe.
The Gunner MMA got Malcolm Harris with the dub. So Malcolm also has a fight that we just announced. He's fighting Trey Smith. We may talk about that a little bit. We just may on The Real Show. Obviously, the theme of today's episode is the top 5 reasons to watch Brawl in the Burgh 23, September 21st. And when I say watch, I mean buy a ticket and be there because, we got a live stream. You can watch the live stream from the comfort of your house on any screen that you have, on your phone, on your TV, on your computer, whatever. But nothing beats being there. Danny Palm, what beats being at a 247 event?
Absolutely nothing.
Precisely.
The challenge. This was a bit challenging. limiting it to the 5 top reasons. I mean, making lists is usually a lot easier, but there were like 162, I think we started with, and we had to narrow it down to 5.
Yeah, legit. And Malcolm Harris just showed up. Look at that guy. Look at him. Yurt.
That guy shows up.
The Dangerous MMA says summer 2025 3G taking over. Okay, let's go. Yeah. Let's go. We're always down. Get new fighters in there. We actually have a form if you want to compete for us, if that's what you're saying. We have a form in our bio that you can fill out so we can collect all your information, get to know your coach, more about you, start looking for some matchups for you. So go ahead and fill that out if you haven't yet. Austin Warman in the chat. You guys know that guy. 247, two-time 247 veteran. And has never competed in MMA. Always grappling at Sprawl in the Burgh, where he is 2-0 with 2 submissions, I believe. So this is a very highly anticipated MMA debut. We might be talking about Austin again later. We just might.
And
what's going on?
We're only a couple minutes away from live.
Real live.
True live. Did we send out the text?
The push notification?
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, I do that. It's scheduled for noon.
You're so smart. You do it right on time. Always on time.
But I'm not always there when you call. Whatever.
How's
that? Is that even how it goes? I don't even know, dude.
I mean,
nice.
Those are some of the words.
Did you see a response to our marketing text message in Slick Text? That is one of the funniest things I've ever read.
I mean, I don't know that I did. I didn't. I mean, you tend to exaggerate. So let me see what it said. Oh, the FedEx one.
Yeah,
I think it was sent to the wrong wrong number.
Yeah, definitely. But that's a hilarious thing to say. Love it.
So if you're on our text list, we sent out a text like, I don't know, 45 minutes ago. No, like an hour ago. I don't know, some time ago. And most people don't, on those ones, they don't respond. Like they don't even know they can. But you can respond, and we will get those. But we got one that was like totally random. It was like we were promoting, like letting people know to, click this link and you can see the lineup and get tickets and all that good stuff. And then it says, so do you like, is it my mom, but my mom doesn't use FedEx. I don't know what he sent me. So yeah, I mean, that can happen every once in a while.
That all makes sense. I totally get what he means.
And then we also got a love emoji from Malky.
Oh,
did you see that?
I did see that, but I acted surprised for the people.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, it's actually noon now. This is the real show. What's up, everyone? Carly Joe in here, Andrew Paula in here, Craig Goffner in here. It is filling up very nicely today. Thanks for joining us on this beautiful Friday afternoon. We're going to talk all about Brawl in the Burgh 23 today. That's the theme of today's show, September 21st.
Why does he sound like so like show hosty? What? That's not how you talk, bro.
I'm hosting a show, bro. Anyway, we are live from. Sorry.
Hello there, folks. This is Hunter Rahumi Steak.
Wait, what do they always say when they sign off? They say their co-host name. For Ryan Middleton, this is Hunter Homestack. We're signing off. Anyway, Jared Billy's in here now. Now that Jared Billy's here, we can.
Yes, Jared Billy got it right.
That's a pretty good joke, Jared. That's pretty good, dude. Pretty good. I got to give you that one. Oh, it was funny. Very much. He said, check it out. Some of the coolest dudes in Pittsburgh. You got Ryan. You got Danny. Nice.
And that was it.
That's pretty good, Jared. Big fan of that one. Well done. All right. Here's how this is going to go. We're going to talk about the top 5 reasons you guys need to be in Monroeville at the Monroeville Convention Center on September 21st for Brawl on the Burgh 23. Love it. Got the air horn even when we're not there. So I'm going to start us out. I'll kick it off because like Ryan said at the show before the show, if you guys were there, it's tough to pick just 5. Extremely tough to pick 5 on this card, especially when you could easily just pick 5 fights and call it a day. But there's other reasons to come to a 247 show. Honestly, there are things that may be new to us that maybe give you more incentive to check this one out. There might just be the overall experience of being at a 247 show if you haven't seen one. So to kick it off,
sometimes it might be new merch.
It could be new merch.
Our first Muay Thai bout. It might be the ability to buy those fight gloves now. It could be all sorts of things.
Yes, it could be. Actually, I think we all forgot about this. I'm going to type it on our doc. Hang on. Could be something like that.
Yeah, that could be it too.
So we got Lucas Siebert in the chat. What's up, Lucas? Lucas has a fight not in September, but on October 26th, our next card after this. Lucas will be fighting a fighter to be named who is signed that you guys will be very excited about. We will announce that very soon. Don't you even worry about that. And Lucas obviously off to a really hot start in his pro career, 2-0, looking to make it 3-0 in this one. And that would kind of catapult his stock to the moon. But for now, we're going to dial it back to September. And I'm going to lead us off with an honorable mention. Not officially part of the top 5, but I really can't talk about this card without talking about this. And literally the only reason it's not part of the top 5, this is the one singular reason, is that he's been inactive in Pittsburgh for too long to make the list. But that's it. That's literally the only reason. Arguably, I think the argument can be made. The most talented pro fighter in Pittsburgh, and it's a guy that most people don't think about. He kind of flies under the radar a little more than your typical guys that you're thinking of, your Pattons, your Kamas. But Jay Manning out of Indio Dojo is an absolute savage, and I guarantee you anybody who has ever trained with him will confirm that for you. If you've been in the room with Jay Manning, then you know. And he's back. He's fighting David Richardson in a pro middleweight showdown at Brawl on the Burgh 21. This is one that genuinely don't miss it because, like I said, Jay competed for us back at Brawl on the Burgh. What was it, Ryan? 5-6, somewhere in that range.
Yes.
It's been a while is the answer since Jay. So since I've been involved with the company, which is
I think it was 7 or 8.
Okay, it definitely wasn't 8 because I was at 8, so maybe 7.
I think it was a crowd, like a show with a crowd. So I think like 4 and 5 didn't have a crowd at all. 6,
yes.
It could be. It's either 6 or 7.
Who knows? But so I've been with 247 for 3 years, and Jay definitely hasn't competed for us since I've been here. So I know it's been at least 3 years.
It's been rough. We've been so close.
I know.
We've almost had him on the card like 17 times.
Yeah, he was booked for June just now. Brawl on the Burgh 22. He was booked for that. His opponent fell off. We couldn't get a replacement in time. And now we got this one. And it's looking all systems go. David Richardson's a stud. That's a ridiculous matchup. And like I said, I just feel like it's flying under the radar because Jay hasn't had a super strong local presence. He's been kind of fighting for LFA and fighting away from the city, but it's a Pittsburgh boy with a big audience and incredible talent. I think he's going to remind everybody who he is on September 21st. And David is more than game for that challenge. So that's kind of like the underrated pro fight on the card, in my opinion. And then the second honorable mention.
That's a crazy awesome fight. Like,
dude, it's so good. So good. Crazy potential with that one. And I'm really excited to see Jay again. I mean, honestly, I've never seen him fight in person. So I've seen the fight on 247 Live, the replay and everything, seen some of his LFA highlights, but never seen him fight in person. So I'm really excited about that. I know Indio and their incredible coaches there always have nothing but good things to say about him. So that carries a lot of weight. He's going to be he's going to be a beast, I would say. And then the second honorable mention I got for Yins that we just can't not talk about. We already talked about him a little bit, but that's Malcolm Harris. He's coming back to fight a Pittsburgh boy, Trey Smith. Nice. That's awesome. You guys know Malcolm Harris was part of the most viral clip in 247 Fighting Championships history. He gave Cam Jenkins a little peck on the lips during weigh-ins for his MMA debut back in June. And while that will not be happening again, I think what resonated with everybody after the fact was Malcolm Harris can freaking fight. He looked incredible in that fight.
I mean, there are that's the thing is like when you kind of stir the pot the way he did, and then you have like big shoes to fill, and he filled them like, yeah, dude, he was up to the task. He looked really sharp. I heard different people during the show, like when the fight was happening, say, like, I could hear people saying, wow, like he's special, like he's super high level, like he's got a lot of talent, man. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and the thing with that is that Cam is extremely talented. Like he was a guy that we were looking at as definitely one of the top prospects, young AMI prospects that we were super excited to work with and still are. I mean, he definitely did some really good things in that fight too, but there was no doubt that Malcolm was a step ahead in pretty much every facet of the game. And that for me is what blew me away the most, was that it was such a well-rounded game for an AMI. His wrestling looked good. His grappling looked good. His stand-up looked good. He was just kind of dynamic and quirky, almost like a real young John Jones, like kind of wild, but clearly had something about him that was pretty special. So I'm really excited to see Malcolm again in that fight with Trey Smith.
We talk about, those special amateur debuts. We talk about Noah Hermosillo. That was something special. I put Malcolm right up there with that level of, like, when you got an amateur. Listen, there's a million guys that debut as amateurs. There's a million guys that have wrestled or done all kind of things, and until they get in the MMA cage, you don't really know what you're getting. Like, you could have a guy that is a really good technical wrestler that does not translate well to MMA, and when you see it when those guys translate well and they have that good base and they move well on their feet, like it's special. And Malcolm Harris had a special debut.
Yeah. Yep. No doubt. So he's coming back. We're going to jump into do you have the list, Danny Palm? Do you have the top 5 as well, or does only Ryan have it?
No, I shared it with him since you didn't.
Yeah, I'm the worst. Honestly, me even writing this down should surprise you. Like I just intended to talk about 5 things as they came to me with no real structure. So
as they randomly came to his head.
Number 1 reason. No, we're going to start at 5. Let's start this official list right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Are we gonna give any of the other honorable mentions?
No. Okay. None of them. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. No, I didn't know if you were considering those honorable mentions or if we wanted to actually weave them in somehow. But it doesn't matter. There's one. So since he's here, I just saw him, Mr. Ty Polk, join the chat. Let's talk about that too. Go ahead and talk about that, Ryan.
Well, folks, we have Tyler Polk is joining the broadcast team. He will be doing the play-by-play, and we had the opportunity to sit down with him in this room. And I was actually sitting right here. He was sitting right across from me. And we did, what fight did we do? Patton's fight.
Yeah, it was Patton and Tobias.
Yeah. So we did play-by-play and color, and, got to see him in action. You don't really know how someone's going to do until, you gear him up. So we did a mock play-by-play of Patton and Tobias Taylor fight, and it was awesome. Like obviously when you're doing it for the first time, he's done play-by-play and color commentary for other sports and other things, and there's a couple little things that he's going to get better at and recognize and do it. But dude, he was so good, and it was how good he was very encouraging, and like I wasn't expecting him to be as good as he was right off the bat, and it was really awesome. So we're super stoked. For those of you joining in person, if you have 247 Live subscription, like you'll be able to watch it later. If you have, if you're not planning on attending, which whatever, but you can watch it on pay-per-view and you'll hear him, and this is his debut, and we're super excited for that.
Yeah, man. What I think is crazy exciting about him is that I know we both feel the same way. Is like the things that we gave him constructively, he was fixing on the fly. And then the other things that I think we discussed kind of afterwards, I bet we said like we can only expect him to get better and learn. He's already done that. Like I don't even have to question. I already know he's already like fixed the problems that we identified. He's just that kind of guy that's like extremely dedicated to his craft. It's not like he's gonna fix them on air September 21st. Is like, no, that's already something he's improved. It's just not going to be an issue now, which is incredible. So I know like his level of dedication and prep was really next level, and I'm really excited to hear him get in that booth on September 21st.
Mm-hmm.
Tanya Snyder PR says we will be there to support our hometown and friends fighting. Nice. Excited to see you there, Tanya. I believe she's a big Kama Worthy supporter from what I remember. I recognize that name on Instagram. So I
really want to lean on you guys. Share our posts and share the you see any ads, share those, and let's spread the word. Let's get a really great crowd in here, because these fighters deserve it. We have 6 awesome pro fights. I think that in and of itself is more than worth the price of admission. It's going to be awesome. We have such high-level guys, and so help us to create this awesome environment. Spread the word if you can.
Yeah. Britt Bickert in here. There's a lot of sunshine on this podcast right now. That's what we needed. That sun is shining. Look at that. We got the Sunny Days In Home Care background today. That's beautiful. The sun is shining there too. We got that's just so much sun on this podcast right now. Let's shine some light on the number 5 reason to come to Brawl in the Burgh 23, Ryan. Number 5. Actually, this feels like a Danny Palm one to take. If you have the list, Danny, this feels like this one's meant for you to talk about.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Yeah, I've got the list here. Number 5, Taylor Cahill versus Brogan Andres.
Yeah,
2 grappling specialists going at it, both coming off a win on the last show. That's a banger of a fight.
I mean, beyond just being a banger of a fight, they're 2 good personalities, right? Like everybody knows the Cahill family and the hype they bring to fights, the tickets they sell, the energy they bring. And Brogan and his team, man, have just Route 250 martial arts. They've just consistently impressed me every time we've worked with them, and just talking to their coach, Andrew Law, behind the scenes. He's just a super, super cool dude. I really like what that team's doing in general. And Brogan's like a sneaky.
He looked really good in June.
He looked so good in June. He's like a sneaky, talented, sneaky personality. He brought a nice crowd himself. Like coming from Ohio, he still sold tickets and brought a crowd. He's just an all-around great pro fighter. Like when you hear professional fighter, he's had 6 pro fights. Like he truly embodies that professional mentality. So these are 2 guys who are riding super high right now, coming off first-round submissions where they basically dominated their fights. And now we're going to see who's better. And that's awesome.
Who's going to keep feeling good about themselves? One of these guys is going to feel so good after this fight. The way they do now, they're on the high of highs, and one of these guys is going down, like going to question, like, hey, like, am I as good as I thought I was? This is a super awesome fight. It's a fight that needed to happen. I really think that, after the last event, like this fight made itself. It's like, hey guys, there's 2 guys in the same weight class that just dominated guys in the first round. Like, they need to match up, and it just kind of made itself.
I think we talked about that on our previous podcast. Is like that's kind of the UFC style of matchmaking, right? Like you always see them match up dudes from the same card against each other, winners, losers, or like somebody loses, but it was a great fight versus a winner who won kind of meh. Like they'll match those kind of. They'll take people from the same card and then build off that, which I love doing, and it's really, really hard to do regionally. I know we've had ideas for that in the past, but it works like 1 out of 20 times when we think, oh, okay, after this show, this would be a good fight. And it just never works that way. This is the rare case where it works that way, and we get a really sick fight as a result.
They were like both like pretty pumped about it too. Like they both wanted to, like, as soon as we offered it, like they were like, hell yeah.
Yes. Which I love dudes who will step up for a challenge. Obviously, come on, man. That's what it's all about.
And the interesting thing is, I remember at one point we had pitched a fight to Taylor, and it was someone that was coming off a loss. And Taylor was like, I want someone coming off a win as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so that shows like that competitive spirit. Like he wants he wants tough fights, tough challenges. Like he's got one. There's no doubt about that. Burgh and Andres is a gamer, and these two are going to go at it.
Yeah, that's a ridiculously good fight. And as we continue this list, keep in mind that was number 5. So if you want an example of how stacked this card is, that's number 5. And like Jay Manning was an honorable mention. Just ridiculous level of depth and quality on this card. So stay tuned for what's coming next. Right now, number 4. This one's kind of I like number 4 because it's not just a fight matchup in general, but it's rather a bigger theme. It's a collective, which I hope Britt Bickert, Austin Warman, I hope they're all still here that popped in, because this one is the fact that Stout Pittsburgh has 5 fighters on this card. 5 Stout boys on this card, which is a ridiculous number, to be clear. Like normally 3 fighters from the same gym on a card is a lot. 1 or 2 is common, but 3 is like, okay, that's a lot. 5 is like, holy crap, it's like half the card. Like half the red side is going to be Stout on this one. So I know Mike Wilkins is actually not able to be there. So I hope they got Will, they got Josh Polance, and I'm sure some of the fighters, some of the pro fighters and stuff are going to help corner as well. But they better get the timing figured out, because there will be back-to-back Stout fights. Normally we try to kind of buffer bouts so the same team doesn't have to go back-to-back, so they have more time to prepare with their coaches and everything. But it's going to literally be impossible on this card.
No avoiding it. There's a couple that it has to be that way.
Yep. So on the card, we already talked about Zach Drizmicki versus Gabe Cruz. That's an amateur flyweight fight. That's just an absolute banger. We also have Tim Bailey versus Jake Katzev, an advanced amateur bantamweight fight. Stout versus 10th Planet Bethlehem. I love that matchup. And then continuing, Stout versus 10th Planet Bethlehem. Austin Warman makes his MMA debut against Isaiah Castanon. Another absolutely sick fight there. You love to see that. And then I'm realizing that I don't have one poster uploaded. But the 4th one, Anthony Hogaback versus Matt Santos, pro bantamweight fight. So we've got 4.
Oh, you totally dissed the pros.
Yeah, we got 4 AMI boys and 1 pro from Stout. Anthony won his pro debut in super dominant fashion. And now Matt Santos, man, another 10th Planet Bethlehem guy. He is coming off a red hot streak. As an AMI, I believe he was 6-5, but he's won 4 in a row. So talking about a guy who is really hitting his stride, ready for that pro debut. He's going to be juiced up to make his pro debut. He's going to be ready to put it on young hound dog Anthony Hogaback, but Hound Dog's been looking better and better and better. Sounded very confident on the podcast. Obviously, he was just on last week's episode. Very confident. A lot riding on that one, obviously, at the pro level. And then the last one that I'm very sorry I forgot to upload his poster. And actually, you know what? Let me upload the poster first. He deserves it. This guy deserves it. He is a 247 long timer. How many 247 fights has he had now, Danny Palm? Is this his third or fourth? Well, he had a Muay Thai fight in June, so we count that, obviously.
If you're counting that, then this will be 5.
Nice. Joel's that is, I don't know, it won't upload for some reason, but it's Joel Martinez versus Dylan Bush. Sorry, Joel, you are a handsome devil, as is Dylan Bush, and I'm sure the people would love to see you, but they just can't today. The system doesn't want to let that happen. So it's Victory MMA's Dylan Bush out of Canton, Ohio, another fantastic team out of Ohio. They're always freaking awesome to work with. And Joel Martinez, advanced amateur bantamweight fight. Love that matchup too, man. Joel, like I said, he's a super regular in the 247 cage. His pace. This is his 4th fight of the year, I think. And it's going to be September. Like, it's so ridiculous. And the fight's on September 21st. Joel's got a little something special planned where that's concerned. September 21st. I'm not going to ruin it, but keep that in mind. And yes, somebody just commented, you know that Joel's being sponsored by Gary Lewis. I do know that, which is awesome. Gary Lewis, obviously, an incredible fan, 247 super fan, local MMA super fan, always helping out local fighters however he can, man. Gary is the absolute dude, and it's an honor to have him locally helping out the way he does. I know the fighters greatly appreciate it. The whole scene greatly appreciates it. And we're going to deliver a show for Gary Lewis to appreciate. So that's what I guarantee at Brawl in the Burgh 23. All right. That's number 4. Basically, number 4, the central theme of number 4 is if you train at Stout or if you support Stout, if you are adjacent to Stout in any way, you need to be there September 21st and support your team. 5 of them putting in hard work every day for this chance. Go support them. Get your tickets. Come on now.
I don't remember him being sick 5 times. That's probably because he wasn't sick. He was skipping school. Sorry.
What is that from?
9 times. It's from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. But it was actually 9 times. I don't know why that popped in my head. I have random stuff. I'm just dealing with it.
My grandma actually nicknamed me Ferris when I was in high school because I had a bit of a habit of skipping. I'd be like, "Oh no, I missed the bus.
Really?
I guess I gotta stay home."
Oh my gosh, that's the least surprising thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's because school's for fools, and I was no fool, boy.
All right, so are we going on to number 3?
I mean, number 3's just waiting on you, dude.
Guess who's back? Back again. So Jay Manning is back, but also there's someone who has is from this general area that has moved away and started his MMA career. And guess what? He is back in Western Pennsylvania from Du Bois, PA. Gino Morelli, former Penn State Nittany Lion wrestler, former Pitt Panther wrestler, is back.
Boom.
How about that? He's 2-0 as a pro MMA fighter. He has a tough time finding fights. And guess what happens? People are like, I have a tough time finding fights. And guess who came to the rescue? Bo Nickel said to him, you need to talk to these guys.
That actually happened. That's not an exaggeration at all. Bo sent a text and said, hey, my buddy Gino's trying to fight. Nobody can get him a fight. Can you guys try? We're like, yeah, dog.
He sent it in that voice that Ryan just used.
Yeah. It was, well, obviously we all know how Bo Nickel talks. So, God. Oh, dude, Slice on Broadway just joined the. Let's go. What's up, Slice on Broadway? Making me hungry. Come on, let's get some pizza. We need an official pizza of the venue, don't we, Ryan?
I mean, we actually we should talk to them.
I'm just saying, let's
might
talk,
need
guys.
An actual food vendor in that place.
And I'm just saying, if you want to talk about an easy grab and go type item, pizza's pretty hard to beat on event night. I'm just saying. And that slice on Broadway, I've done the research. Trust me, I've sampled it, and it is real good. Big fan. I would love to have that.
There was someone sponsored by Slice on Broadway. Was it
Cowboy Eddie?
Eddie
Parrilla. Yep. Yeah, boy. So that's awesome.
And he hasn't stopped eating there since.
Cowboy Eddie catching strays. That was awesome.
Bro. Cowboy.
Dude, that was awesome.
Dude, I can say it. Like, I can say it because I'm a fat guy.
That's how it works.
He's like nowhere near my level of fatness. But hey, listen, I'm also not near the level of like fighting this.
Dude, Jared Billy just dropped Inferno Pizza in North Huntington too, which is really good. I've had that a few times. I remember there used to be a brewery right beside it called Fury, and you would go to Fury and then order pizza from next door, and it's real good. Inferno is good. That's a good point. Might want to hit them up. They're right down the road from the venue, so that's a good call, Jared.
We actually have a couple folks in mind to potentially be a food vendor, but we haven't really been actively. Hey guys, if you know someone that's a really great has a diverse restaurant that could be good for, sports bar-ish food or something like that, hey, let us know, because we are about to start being more proactive in that search.
Yep, exactly. It's about to start blowing up, so crazy excited. Sunny Days Arena at the venue obviously is the biggest step that we've taken as an organization in our 6 years of existence. So it's going to be a big deal, and we're ridiculously excited to make it super perfect for everybody. It's going to change the game. It's going to be a new way in event space. So that's what I love about it.
So to recap, we have two what are they called? Number 5 was Cahill and Andres. Number 4 was Stout Pittsburgh, having 5 fighters on the card. Number 3 was the return of Gino Morelli to Western PA.
So real quick, before we get off Gino,
2 honorable mentions were Jay Manning and Malcolm Harris. Sorry,
correct.
Couldn't think of honorable mention.
Before we get off Gino versus Hunter Watt, I want to be extremely clear. This bout is as much about Hunter Watt and the matchup as it is about Gino coming home. It's not like Gino's coming home for an easy win to put on a show and like be the man of the hour in his, back in Western PA. Dude, crazy legit matchup. Like legitimately 2 of the best pro welterweight prospects in our region. They're both 2-0. Hunter Watt also out of Route 250 with Brogan and Andrew Law and them boys. So he's going to be ready, super ready to roll. Hunter Watt is, I think he was like 9-1 as an amateur as well.
What?
So TJ Watt, it's TJ's cousin.
It's actually TJ's long lost brother.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the resemblance. And being 170 pounds, I mean, roughly the same size. So,
yes. What?
So that matchup, that's like elite versus elite. It's what we try to do here, man. We're not about spoon feeding wins, as you will see as we go up the
caliber matchup.
It's literally a main event caliber matchup, and it's going to be probably 3rd from the top on fight night, which is insane. So Gino, like we said, an NCAA qualifier at Penn State, just a super elite wrestler from Western PA with all the ties to that Penn State wrestling crew. And then Hunter Watt, 2-0 out of Ohio, one of Ohio's best pro 170 prospects. So it's PA versus Ohio, even though Gino now calls South Carolina and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's gym home. He's still a PA boy at heart, and I'm billing it as PA versus Ohio. I love it. Let's go.
South Carolina, raise up. All right.
Petey Pablo. Oh, that's awesome.
All right.
All right. Number 2. It's getting real now, ladies and gentlemen. Number 2 and number 1 are just, I mean, what do you even say about these? And you probably already know what they are. But it doesn't matter. You know
what they are because it's glowingly, glaringly obvious how awesome these are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Lay it on him. Lay number 2. You know what, Danny Palm, you take number 2. This is your time to shine, Danny Palm.
All right, 1 second.
Let me get it.
Number 2, Contender Series winner versus UFC veteran.
Bum, 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 bum. Okay, sorry. I was trying to take over that.
Kama Worthy versus Oliver Murad. That is an insane fight.
Dude, so insane. I love it when there's when you go through the process of matching Kama Worthy. Let me just give you a little insider stuff here. So let's back up 5 years ago. We were matching Kama Worthy pre-UFC. Impossible to match. No one wanted any parts of him. And it was just very difficult. It was a painstaking process finding opponents for him. And, you finally found one. And it took forever and blah, blah, blah. Then he goes to UFC. He comes back. He has a 5-fight UFC career. First 2 awesome finishes, then loses 3 in a row, right? He comes back to 247. Everyone wants to fight Kama Worthy. He's like the easiest person to match ever. They're like, I want that guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 years ago. Since that time, over the course of time, he has once again become the hardest guy ever to match. Like, so hard. No one wants any parts of him. It doesn't I look at the there's a lot to gain for a fighter. So if you take a look at Kama, the last time he lost on the regional scene, the guy that beat him immediately went to the UFC. There was no fight in between.
It was that same night.
Yeah. It earned him. Yeah. You beat Kama on the regional scene. The UFC notices, boom, he got called up immediately.
That was Trevor Peak for all you UFC fans out there.
So Oliver Murad fights primarily at 145. He knows what he's dealing with here. He knows that it will literally catapult him to great things if he's able to take down the Death Star. And so, and in my personal opinion, I think that picking up a loss to the Death Star, one, that experience will make you a better fighter. It'll take you further, but it's not a bad looking loss on your resume. If you're going to have losses, which most MMA fighters are going to have losses. Very few people are John Jones, unless you're talking about Matt Hamill. But that loss might get erased eventually anyway. But I'm just saying, he became the most difficult fighter to match. But you have a guy like Oliver that sees the opportunity and is seizing that opportunity because he knows there is so much to gain and very little to lose, essentially. Sure, it's a loss, and it could be a loss on your record, but I think it's a good loss with valuable experience.
Yeah, man. To add to him, I should ask if his name is Olivier or Oliver, because it looks like Olivier, but now I don't know. Anyway, Olivier. I'm going with Olivier. Sure. Sounds fancier. It's got to be fancy, right? So for some more context for 247 fans out there, Olivier trains with a name you will recognize maybe if you've been following closely and always watching our shows, Martin Justice, who was one half of an early contender for Fight of the Year when Justice fought Justin Patton back in April at BIPI 21. So this is that same Freedom Fighters gym down in Miami, Florida. They got a bunch of dogs down there, dude, and they're just savages. There's a lot of Cuban influence at that gym, obviously being in Miami. So it's just that super tough, gritty, skilled, obviously. And you got to love the matchup for that because, like Ryan said, Olivier saw okay, this is a 155 fight. Typically I fight at 45, but like this is my chance. I won on the Contender Series, but I wasn't picked for a contract. And then he had unfortunate setbacks right after that for LFA, I believe. And that's the savagery of MMA, is that any opportunity could be your last. And now that's something that Olivier understands and appreciates. And that's exactly why he's jumping at this one to get back on the map with a huge win against a 5-time UFC veteran that he believes he can beat and that his team is familiar with, and also familiar with our organization, and knowing that we're going to treat them right and do things the right way and really promote this thing for them and help. They know, like, hey, 247 is going to do it the right way. Like, if you beat Kama, there's going to be really good highlights, pictures. We can push that. Like, that's a good place to do it. So all the way around, like, I'm really excited to be working with that team again. And just the matchup itself is bananas. You can't say enough about it.
It's bananas. BANANAS.
And actually, if you go to our Instagram, they collaborated us on a reel. They have a videographer in their gym who is doing a little documentary series with Olivier leading up to the fight, kind of like UFC embedded type stuff. So go find that video on our Instagram. It's on our profile as well. It's super well done, like extremely well done video, very professional. You guys are going to love that. If you want a closer look at Olivier and his teams, highly recommend that. Ty Westwood in the chat, and Justin Patton, and Tyler Dilly. Nice. Ty Westwood, little savage out of Indio Dojo, little place called Indio Dojo. I've heard nothing but the best things about Ty, and that's a huge goal for 2025, is to get Ty in our cage somehow. Let's do it. Let's go.
I think it's funny how Patton just happens to crawl in as we approach, number one on the list.
Well, I have a little preview, if you will, kind of like before you get to the main movie. There's going to be a little preview first. I got a little video for you guys. If you haven't seen it, the man Anthony Brandy, Pittsburgh Flyover, did a hype video for this event, and I'm going to play the trailer right now as like a preview to number one. So here you go. Let's get hyped.
Fighting out of Somerset County, Pennsylvania, representing the Shop 814, Taylor Cahill.
Win or lose, I'm going out, and I plan on making it exciting for the crowd.
Representing the Academy Pittsburgh, he is the Emperor's favorite son and 20-10 in MMA. Come on, the Death Star, Worthy. From the Steel City of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, representing the Manufactured Wrestling Club, he is the General, Justin Patton. Every single time we see Justin Patton step in the cage, it is a new and improved version of the same man.
Boom. Gotta love that, right? Come on, dude. Come on. I'm hyped. I'm so hyped.
I just gotta say, that was so loud in my headphones.
It was super loud in my headphones too. I don't know why it was so loud. Yeah, I had to turn my headphones down. I was like,
sick, though. I didn't even turn them down.
Danny's just taking it straight to the dome.
Brian had to too.
That's awesome.
What? Sorry.
That's awesome. So let's just call it what we all know what number one's going to be after seeing the video. If you followed our fight announcements at all, we know what it is. Justin the General Patton is back fighting Ryan Cafaro, who is the number 3 ranked featherweight in the state of Pennsylvania, from the east side of the state, which is exciting. So we got a little east-west rivalry. Let's go. This is regional MMA matchups. Don't really get better than this one. That's basically all you can say about it. Patton, I think, is ranked number 7 or 8 in the state now on Tapology. Cafaro's 3, I believe. So it's literally a mix of top 10 featherweights, and the winner is probably going to bigger, better places. We're looking at this as very much a Contender Series type fight. It's pretty much as high level as you can get. Easily one of the highest level fights 247 Fighting Championships has ever hosted. So everything about it, and look at that. Korean Thunder Ryan Cafaro got fans in the comments already. So even though locally you guys probably know Justin the General Patton, Cafaro's already bringing the heat from the other side of the state. So he's not coming in to lose. I guarantee you that one. He's not just going to lay down and let Patton have his moment. This is a huge matchup that we talked all about on the podcast with Patton and Carly Joe, but it's a massive risk for Patton. He's on easily the best run of his pro career, winning 6 out of his last 7. And even the one that he lost, he was winning until he got caught by submission in the 3rd round. So he is on an absolute tear right now. We talked about his win over Martin Hustiz. He just dismantled Tobias Taylor June 29th. He's on a ridiculous run, and he said, give me more of that. Just give me some more of that high level. And we said, how about the highest level opponent we could possibly give you? Because at the time, Cafaro was actually ranked 2nd in the state, and number 1 was Ethan Goss, and obviously Patton and Goss aren't going to fight. So Cafaro was quite literally, based on Tapology rankings, the top guy we could have given Patton in the state, and they both signed on the dotted line. Here it is. Lucas Siebert says this is the best fight in 247 history. I'm calling it right now. And big words. I love it.
So here's the deal. There are 1,000 active professional featherweights in the United States of America. Ryan Cafaro is ranked 75 out of all of them in the regional scene. He's ranked in the top 100, and Justin Patton is not. Like, Justin Patton is the less experienced of these two guys. Justin is for sure the underdog here. I don't know what are they. Where's the fan vote on this? I didn't check that.
No, I didn't look either. That's interesting though.
I love
James
looking
Stevens.
at these because it's very interesting.
It is fun. James Stevenson in here. Let's go, dude. Sanad Kostic in here. What's up? I like seeing just fighters pouring in throughout. Here we go. Pat. Oh my goodness. There's definitely no bias with Tapology votes, by the way.
I mean, do you think Patton's like, everyone I know you need to get on to?
Yeah, right.
Get on to Tapology. That is so crazy.
96%.
Yeah, that's. Hey Ryan, here, listen, dude. You need to get some of your friends on Tapology to kind of even this out, because this is such a. I mean, if there was a real line on this, there's no doubt that Cafaro would be favored.
Yeah, so let's just run through these real fast. It's kind of fun. Brogan and Cahill. Cahill has 89% of the votes. Patton has 96%, as we said. Hogaback, a big underdog, 22% for Hogaback, which means 78% for Santos, of course. That's math. That's how it works. Kama has 83%. Jay Manning, a clean sweep.
Yeah, he's just fighting some like dude we find off the road. Like
what in the world? What in the world? Gino Morelli 67-33 with Hunter Watt. That's a little closer than the rest of these.
Dr. Z
95%. Austin Warman with a clean sweep 100% as well. Joel Martinez with 93% and Tim Bailey with 93%. That is wild.
Yeah,
these are wild numbers.
So that should even up as we get closer to fight night.
For sure, it will. It definitely will. There's no reason that they need to be that skewed. That's for sure. But it's fun to look at in the meantime. Jay Manning 100. Nuff said. Comment we just got. Jared Billy saying it's going to be incredible. Yeah, I mean, this card top to bottom. So right now we have 11 fights. We lost a few fights along the way, as is tradition. I mean, you can't really get to fight night without losing a few. So we're trying to rematch 2 of them super hard right now. So keep your eyes peeled, ladies and gentlemen. These were our top 5 reasons right now, but we're still 15 days away, which means that we could still add something pretty fun. You never know what we might still add leading up. So
we're always trying. It's never too late to get these guys matched. You never know.
Yeah, exactly. Tickets are available, 247fighting.com. Super easy to buy tickets. Front row tickets are all gone. Second row is mostly gone, if not all gone. If you want real good seats, what I'm trying to say is you need to get them like today, right now, because it's not getting any better. Ticket sales pick up these last 2 weeks pretty considerably, so it's already looking thin. So it's not going to get any better. Promise you that. You should get them right now to secure a good spot. And September 21st, Monroeville Convention Center. What else do they need to know about this event, Ryan? What are we missing?
About this event, here's what you need to know. If you aren't there, you're a fool. So grab your tickets and don't be a fool.
I couldn't have said it any better. Why? I mean, yeah, people just like to be fools and not come. But if you can't, and listen, I will accept that you can't make it out to Monroeville on September 21st, but can you pick up your phone on September 21st? Do you have access to a television or a computer on September 21st? Because we will also be live streaming the event at stream247live.com. That is our 247 Live component, our digital media platform. We have apps. They're free. 247 Live. They're available on iOS, Android, Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV, and they're free, all those places. So if you have a phone, if you have an Android device or an iPhone, which is going to be 95% of yins, I would imagine, if not more, the app is free. 247 Live. Go download the 247 Live app.
Guess what else it's coming on soon? Ustream or 247 Live is going to soon be on what? What app?
Samsung TV.
Oh.
It was basically the one app that we don't have yet. So that's about to change.
Others, but it's by far the biggest because there's like a billion.
Most major. Yeah, exactly. So it's coming soon to Samsung TV, which is exciting. Luke Martin has a question. He wants to know, when are we going to launch 247 Sportsbook so he can put the house on Hound Dog Hogaback?
Put the house on Hound Dog Hogaback. Okay, so 247 Sportsbook is where we should be about two weeks away. Just kidding.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be it's a great idea that we have like thought about. We'll say that.
Listen, we would love for there to be real lines. Like, if you knew that there's more to that than we care to discuss publicly, but we're always looking at stuff.
Always taking it to the next level. And with Sunny Days Arena at the venue looking like we're headed towards a December opening, we have our own permanent space. We have flexibility to do different things than we've ever done. A sports book becomes a lot more appealing and realistic when you have a physical location like that. So I don't know. I'm not saying it's happening, because if I had to bet right now, I would say it's definitely not happening. But it is a thought in our brain that who knows? Who knows how this thing could go and where it could develop. I didn't think we would have a personal space when I first started. So now this has already exceeded expectations, and now I'm not counting anything out with this company. So let's go.
Hunter and I were talking the other day, and we were talking about how we were in the new venue, right? We're in Sunny Days Arena, and we're kind of walking around, and I said, man, did you ever like think this would, I mean, we talked about it before, but did you ever think we'd be so close to this being reality? And he's like, no. And like, it wasn't long before, when we can kind of give some background here, when he first came on staff, we were already kind of like starting down this path, and we had basically, like, we were real close to an agreement for a permanent spot in Green Tree Sportsplex. And we were actually really, I think we were really close to pulling that trigger. And
yeah,
I'm really glad now that we didn't, because we have the spot we're supposed to be in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so when I said that to him, he said, and like, when I first started, we were already we started looking for a place, and I just thought like this is what you do, right? Like, but like it's not. But so it's really cool that we're one of the few. I don't know of any other regional promotions in the whole country that have their own venue. I mean, I'm sure there could be. I just don't know about it.
I would actually like to know. Yeah, if there is one, I would love to talk to them. That would be awesome, actually.
I think there's one in Virginia or like the DC area that.
Oh, Cagezilla, they do. We know Cagezilla does. Remember that they were telling us about it.
Is that who I'm thinking of? Yeah.
Yeah. It was like an old movie theater.
Do they own the facility, or are they just like one of the tenants?
I don't know. That's a good question. But my the way I interpreted it at the time was that they owned that building, and it was like a very old movie theater. I think it sounded like a really cool place, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, I've seen pictures, and I thought it looked like a really cool place.
Yeah, so that's cool, man. That's good for them for sure. It makes sense. I mean, yeah,
we're an elite company when it comes to like doing these kind of things, and we love the fact that there's very few of this out there. And Pittsburgh is going to have a combat sports mecca that can also have concerts and bands. And so when I say concerts, I'm talking like a bigger concert, but also like just smaller bands and things like that. And we can have just different types of shows, comedians, all kind of stuff. Danny Palm stand up. Hello People.
Dude, the Hello People special. That would definitely, if Danny Palm had a Netflix special, that would definitely be the name of it. Hello People.
How about when we were just out, Hunter and I were, I don't know. I know where we were. We were downtown somewhere, and we're talking to someone, and they're like, and this happens literally all the time. They're like, "Oh, does Danny Palm work for you guys?" And we're like, "How do you know Danny?" And they're like, "Oh, wrestling." Like, literally, Danny Palm is the most known human being that's ever existed.
Super true. He is easily the member of 247 that mostly people say, yeah, I know Danny Palm. When I tell them about what I do, they're like, yeah, I know Danny Palm. He works for them, right? Like, dude, Danny Palm's a celebrity, bro. That's all there is to it. You can't hide. You can't hide it, Danny Palm. Too well known. Hello People all over Pittsburgh. But yeah, guys, this is we are out of time here. I'm going to bag this thing up. I'm going to show you the poster for the event so you can get all the information. September 21st, Brawl in the Burgh 23, Monroeville Convention Center. Tickets are at 247fighting.com. Live stream at stream247live.com. Buy the pay-per-view there, and then you can download the app, log into your account, and watch it. Like I said, that app is free. If you have one of those devices I mentioned, iPhone, Android, Roku, Fire TV, iPad, Apple TV, go download that app. Just download the free app. Helps us out a lot and helps you out a lot because it's easily the best way to consume our content. The app is genuinely beautiful. Looks like freaking Netflix. I love showing it off to people, and I think you're going to love it. I really do. So
6 amazing pro fights, 5 amateur bangers. This is a no-brainer, folks. You got to get your tickets. You got to go now. September 21st, Monroeville Convention Center. 7 p.m. opening bell. Doors open at 6. Get there, be there, get your tickets. Don't be dumb.
Don't be dumb. Be at Brawl in the Burgh 23. We'll see yins there. This card is stacked. We can't wait. And stay tuned to our social media, Instagram, Facebook, for maybe another announcement. We might have a couple more goodies for you leading up to the show. We ain't there yet. We're still two weeks away. So let's have some fun as we get closer. Let's pull out a stop that you're just not even prepared for. Let's do this thing. We'll see you guys there. And thanks for joining in. Obviously, it was nice seeing you all here. Really good turnout. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Peace out.
Cheers. Bye.